I just spent the last 7 days exploring New Mexico and West Texas with my wife, Hannah.
Into the sunset.
We started our journey in Albuquerque and drove all the way to the Mexican border in Big Bend, totaling 1,600 miles of driving. This trip absolutely exceeded any expectations I had, and to be honest, I didn't know what to expect.
Right now we're about 10,300 feet in the air.
My feet! Oh man! Have you been to America? You been? Did you like it? Yeah. Nice. When planning for this trip, people ask me, Jake, what is there to do in New Mexico and Texas? Well, let me show you. So this guy's pulling us into Mexico right now. We're Hannah and Jake, and we like to explore cool places all over the world. So come along and join us so you can have an adventure of your own in the wild, Wild West.
Let's go. If you never see this video, that means I'm stuck in Mexico and I need your help.
Right, so there's a couple reasons that Hannah and I wanted to explore this part of the country. Number one, national parks. So if you don't know by now, Hannah and I are on a mission to hit every single national park in the country.
It's getting a little windy.
And I think on this trip, we're gonna be hitting 1, 2, 3, 4 national parks. We went ahead and bought the interagency pass, which is basically just like an unlimited national parks card. And I think it costs like $80 and you get to see unlimited national parks for the year. So bargain. Number two, the weather. So Hannah and I basically have from September all the way to March to get all our traveling done. In the summertime, springtime, that's when we make our money for the year basically in our lines of work. So when you align like the schedules and all the logistics and everything, it's just the fall, winter, late summer is really the only times we have to travel. And what better time to visit the barren middle of nowhere than in the wintertime where there's no heat beating down on you, there's no real risk of rattlesnakes and all the crazy critters that come out in the summer. But yeah, we're gonna land in Albuquerque, and I kind of designed this itinerary to take us all the way from the Sandia Peaks, which is like the highest point in New Mexico, all the way down into Texas, passing Roswell, Carlsbad, White Sands, and then all the way down to the border of Mexico in Big Bend National Park. We're gonna spend a couple days down there, and then we're gonna loop right back up and finish our journey in El Paso. So think lots of driving, but lots of fun.
All right, so we just arrived at the Albuquerque airport. Right now we're going to get our luggage, and then we're gonna pick up our rental car and hit the road. We got a couple stops we want to make today, and most of them involve the show Breaking Bad, so it's gonna be cool. Let's go.
After loading up the car, we got some food at Twister's, formerly known as Los Pollos Hermanos. If by chance you've been living under a rock and haven't seen the show, go watch it and then come back to this video. It'll make a lot more sense.
Oh my God, we found him. This is where he's been hiding.
Looks like over here they have a shrine to the show, and they got a whole bunch of memorabilia and signatures and stuff over here. Really cool.
Twister's was opened back in 1998 and was used for the filming of Breaking Bad from 2008 to 2013, and its spin-off Better Call Saul from 2014 to 2022.
Jesse! All right, so we're leaving Los Pollos Hermanos, and honestly, it wasn't that bad. It was a little bit dirty, but overall the food was really good. Yeah, tore that shit up. I would probably overlay Breaking Bad music to this whole segment, but you know, copyright issues. So anyways, we're gonna go to Walter White's house now. Also, what is up with these new 2026 cars? Like, I've never seen a gear shift like this in my life. Very strange.
And there it was.
There's the Walter White house. Wow. So it's so weird seeing it in person. That is so cool.
We finally made it after all these years later from watching the show. And if you haven't seen the show, I highly recommend you do.
Go see it. One of my favorites, all-time favorites. There was a pizza on the roof up there at one point. A bomb went off here, is that right? Or an explosion, what was it with the planes?
Something caught on fire. It was a long time ago since
Yeah.
we watched the show.
All right. Well, I mean, that's pretty much all you do. It's cool to see in person, but I'm parked in the middle of the road right now. So I guess I should probably get a move on, but super cool. If you're a Breaking Bad fan, this is definitely the city to be in. We saw earlier they were doing like tours and stuff, and that would have been cool, but we got a little bit more planned today, so unfortunately we don't have time for that. But right now we're gonna probably do this sky tram gondola thing up to the top of those mountains right there, and yeah, kind of just see what that's all about. So I'm gonna get out of the road. It was about a 20-minute drive to get to the cable car station, and the views of the mountains were nothing short of incredible.
The mountains here are so cool.
They're huge.
Yeah, I knew obviously we'd see mountains, but I wasn't really sure what to expect from New Mexico. But man, they are so beautiful.
Way cooler than I thought they were gonna be.
Yeah.
So let's get to the top. Even the tramway here in Albuquerque isn't safe from AI slop. Yikes.
Hannah and I knew we recognized this design before, and sure enough, the cable car was built and designed by none other than the Swiss. The Sandia Peak Tramway is North America's longest aerial tram, spanning 2.7 miles to get to the peak. It opened in 1966, and it offers stunning views of the Sandia Mountains, and yes, we saw people tight-roping over a cliff. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Welcome to the top, everyone.
All right, so we just made it to the top of Sandia Peak. It was about a 10-15 minute cable car ride to get to the top. And right now we're about 10,300 feet in the air. I'll flip the camera around and you can see we're pretty high up. Yeah, this cable car station took 4 years to build, 2 years to actually build it, and 2 years just to plan it. And it was built by the Swiss, if you could believe that. I thought I recognized those gears, but we're gonna walk around and check it out a little bit. Try not to slip on the ice because it is snowy up here. Another thing that's really cool too that I noticed is it goes from so flat to so mountainous so quickly. It's just, oh man, it's fantastic. It's so cool to see. Should have brought the snow boots. Apparently you can go like skiing and paragliding, and there's all sorts of activities that you can do up here. And I didn't prepare for this much snow, because you think New Mexico, you don't think a whole bunch of snow, but I guess we are 10,000 feet in the air. Woo! Almost went down. This is beautiful. Wow. Good throw. You can see there's some kids sledding down there too.
Jealous.
Let him speed up that footage a little bit.
It started getting rather cold, and since we weren't skiing, we didn't have much else to do. So we decided to head back to the station to make our descent back down to Albuquerque, but not before stopping at the on-site restaurant to get some delicious hot chocolate. And even though we didn't eat there, the food looked very good.
So far, Albuquerque was proving to be quite the experience. We ended up exploring the city some more, then we checked into our hotel and called it a day. Because tomorrow, the national park journey begins, with White Sands.
It was now the second day of our adventure, and we couldn't be more excited. We got some complimentary breakfast from our hotel and hit the road toward our first national park, White Sands. It was about a 3.5 hours drive to get from Albuquerque to White Sands, and we passed through some little towns along the way, or as I like to call them, speed traps, before finishing out the evening in Ruidoso, which sits just outside tomorrow's destination, Roswell.
Somehow the rain always follows us, even to the desert. You can see it's very sketchy looking. Tumbleweeds! I got it!
So many tumbleweeds crossing the road right now. This is insane. All right, so on our way to White Sands, we had some extra time to kill, so we stopped at this place called Truth or Consequences. There's really not much to it. It used to be called Hot Springs, but apparently they changed the name after a radio show or something. I don't know. Kind of just passing through, but there's really not a lot to do here. We've been looking around trying to find some stuff to do. We found this park, but other than that, it's just kind of like a pass-through town, I guess. I just figured there'd be more here because it's a funny name. They don't even have gift shops here. It's really pretty. Pretty views.
So pretty.
That's the Rio Grande River right there.
Rio Grande.
Rio Grande. Excuse me.
Americans.
Anyways, off to White Sands.
These super evil looking mountains. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Who's in the back?
Nobody.
Oh, where are you guys headed today?
White
We're going
Sands?
to the national park.
National Park?
Yeah.
Where are you guys coming from?
What was it? Truth or Consequences?
Yeah.
We're driving
New
around
Mexico.
New Mexico.
Is this your vehicle?
It's a rental.
Rental?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are going together and just heading back, or
We're
we're-
kind of looping around the state.
the States?
Yeah.
We're heading to El Paso as our final stop.
Yeah.
Okay, El Paso.
Yeah.
What country are you guys citizens of?
We're from
we
here.
live here.
Yeah, United
Okay.
States. We're
Yeah.
from South Carolina.
Sounded like you were like from a different country, that's why.
No.
No. A different country? I'm so confused right now.
Wait, you're telling me that I sound like I'm from
I'm gonna turn.
After making it through the strangest border patrol encounter ever, we were free to continue onward toward our first national park, White Sands.
There's a full-on dust storm happening over there.
Spooky.
That's crazy.
Alright, we made it to White Sands. I hope you can hear me okay with this wind. There's actually a wind advisory for White Sands National Park today. So how unlucky is that? We decided to check out the on-site museum to get some history about the park.
The oldest oldest footprints in North America were found here at White Sands, and these are real imprints of what they look like.
And despite the spotty weather, we pressed on anyways, and even bought a sled to slide down the dunes.
So we had to buy one new for $27.
And they upsold me on some wax as well, so this better be worth it.
Our first stop was the Dune Life Trail, which is basically just a mile-long walk through the dunes.
All right, so we're starting the Dune, I think it's the Dune Trail or the Dune Loop or something, but it's a mile-long walk through the White Sands, and it's gonna be really cool. We're bringing our sled with us, so... Oh, it's a fighter jet. It's so loud. Damn.
So I figured the Dune Life Trail would be kind of like a nice relaxing stroll through the park, you know. Yeah, that's not how it went. The wind was just unstoppable.
The wind is so bad out here that even the trail markers have blown over. So, yeah, I think it's time to go.
That was crazy.
All right, so apparently that was called the Dune Life Trail. And we didn't see much of the dune life, but we sure did see a lot of wind. And that's about it because there was sand in my eyes the whole time. We're gonna go try to find another spot so that I can actually ride this sled that I paid so much money for.
Our next and final stop was the Alki Flats, and even though the trail wasn't currently accessible, we still hoped to catch a sunset.
The road just ended, and we're driving on pure sand right now. So, never done that before. Looks like the sun is finally out, meaning these are going back on, and sunset is soon, so we're gonna hang around and see if we can catch a sunset. Throw me the wax. Oh, landed right in the plant. Oh, spiky. Okay, I just found the highest, steepest hill yet, and we're gonna slide down it. Oh man. See Hannah down there. Here we go. Woo!
White Sands National Park features 60-foot dunes to shred.
Here we go.
Unique wildlife, and it's located within an active missile range. The actual park itself spans a whopping 275 square miles.
My feet. Oh man. That actually was pretty mild.
The sun was finally beginning to set on our time in White Sands. The breeze was blowing softly over the dunes. It was all so peaceful. But
there's a group of like 15 people over there, all screaming in Chinese.
they're doing TikTok dances.
If there was any wildlife out here that we were gonna see, they'd probably scared them off. Just be quiet, respect nature, and respect other people's peace. I hate people like that.
Even though our trip had just begun, I was already feeling so many different emotions, like how thankful I was that I get to explore these incredible places,
Jig's due in 2 weeks.
and how I get to explore them with the greatest wife and travel partner that I could have asked for. I'm grateful for how everything turned out, because we basically got to see like from one extreme end of the park to the other, with the raging gusting winds in the beginning to the beautiful sunset.
Into the sunset.
The sun is starting to set. Look at that.
So in the end, it turned out to be like a perfect evening.
So much sand in the shoes. White Sands National Park, the newest national park, now checked off of our list. Definitely worth the stop if you come out to New Mexico. Goodbye, White Sands. Goodbye, group of loud Chinese tourists.
As if the evening couldn't get any better. Is that a cop? Oh, mother.
Well, we just got pulled over. Jake was speeding. In his defense, the speed limits are absolutely whack out here, so yeah.
After picking up a $60 ticket, we passed a giant nut
World's largest pistachio.
before arriving at the Arrowhead Motel, where we got a good night's rest before our big day tomorrow. The place lived up to its high rating, and if you're on your way to Roswell, I would definitely recommend staying here. Oh, and do yourself a favor, watch your speed. Good morning from Ruidoso, New Mexico. Man, what a night yesterday. We did White Sands, and we got this really cool souvenir. Now, to be fair, I was going like 82 and a 60, so it could have been a lot worse. But and it was nighttime, so I didn't realize just how big the police presence is here. So if you kind of take our itinerary and follow what we're doing, just remember to watch your speed around here, because this whole area is one big speed trap. This is one of the nicest motels I've ever stayed at. The staff is super friendly, room is super nice, super clean. They have a big heater on the wall, which is great because it was cold last night. Absolutely incredible place. I don't usually mention the places that we stay at because they're usually like, whatever, just pretty plain. But this place, definitely stay here. We got a fun day today. We're gonna be going to Roswell, which is like a big UFO capital of the country, and they have like UFO museums, alien museums. And then after that, we're gonna go to another national park, which is Carlsbad Caverns. It's about an hour and a half drive to Roswell, so we're gonna hit the road. We chose to stay in Ruidoso instead of Roswell because it made for the perfect halfway point from White Sands, cutting our drive the next morning down to just an hour.
Leave it to us to find the alien Duncan.
What is that lazy donut? That ain't no alien.
Like a balloon.
It's filled with green alien blood. So we just left the alien Duncan, and we're kind of walking around Roswell, and we're about to check out this UFO museum. It looks pretty cool. The reviews were good, so we're gonna go and check that out.
In 1947, something fell from the sky near the quiet desert town of Roswell. Locals reported strange debris scattered all across the desert, unlike anything they'd ever seen. The military quickly arrived, and they claimed it as nothing more than a weather balloon, leading to what so many claim to be a massive cover-up by the government.
In addition to all the really cool historical facts and stories about UFOs in here, the artwork as well is just so cool. You gotta check this place out if you come to Roswell.
The museum hosts all kinds of alien-themed memorabilia and original paintings from artists all over the world.
There's also an evidence room here. You can see behind me rows and rows and rows of just evidence about UFO crashes and how aliens do exist.
Each one has like little artifacts and stuff, all unique, every single box.
Yeah, they seem to know a little bit more than we do about proving aliens' existence. So if they say it's real, I believe them. So we're in the first room right now, and they have a whole library in here filled with extraterrestrial themed books. And honestly, I could spend hours just in this room alone. But unfortunately, we gotta keep moving, but this is so cool.
Got some souvenirs.
Even the street lamps here are alien themed. This is such a cool little town. Now we're going to check out the UFO spacewalk.
Your teeth are so white. Whoa! He's watching you.
So Hannah, how was your time in Roswell?
Pretty much, I already kind of believed in aliens to start with. You know, we live in a huge galaxy, but if I wasn't convinced before, I'm definitely convinced now. And it was a lot of fun. It was a cool little stop between our trip, but we had a lot of fun. It was really cool.
I just wish we had a little bit more time here because there's still some more cool shops that we could have went in, and I definitely could have spent more time in that museum reading some of those books. But you know, when you're on a trip and you're on a time crunch, you got to get moving, you got to stay moving. So we'll definitely be back someday. This is such a cool town, and I highly recommend adding it to your stop if you're doing a road trip. Anyways, off to Carlsbad.
After leaving Roswell, it was just an hour-and-a-half's drive to get down to Carlsbad Caverns, and we passed through the actual city of Carlsbad in the process.
I remember when we got there, I was just buzzing with excitement because I've heard so many great things about this cave, and it's one of the things I've always wanted to see in person. All right, so right now we're walking down to the natural entrance of the cave, and I want to keep my voice kind of low because this is a sanctuary for bats, and they told us to kind of keep quiet. But the cave itself has been like formed through water droplets over the course of like 500,000 years or so. So it's gonna have some really cool rock sculptures in there, and I'm super Super excited to see it. Looks like we got the whole place to ourselves for now. It's like we're about to enter the mines of Moria.
So the entrance to the cave was actually quite intimidating because, one, it's a big, dark, scary cave. And two, we were one of the only people there.
Look at how deep this descent is. This is crazy. As we enter the cave, there's this overwhelming smell. And I think it's bat guano. Oh yeah, we're in it now. Look behind me. Long way to go. It's so quiet in here, and we're the only ones here.
So peaceful.
I will say we did book a time slot, so I guess that's how they do it now to keep it from getting overcrowded. We have this whole cave pretty much to ourselves. This is awesome.
Carlsbad Caverns is home to more than 119 limestone caves, including the famous Big Room, the largest cave chamber in North America. Formed over millions of years, the caves were carved out by sulfuric acid, slowly dissolving the surrounding limestone. Visitors have been exploring the underground since the early 1920s, making it one of the country's oldest and most fascinating natural places.
Look at this long, skinny one.
The trail we did was about 4 miles and took us about 3 hours to complete. We descended about 1 mile, or 75 stories, into the earth, and the formations that you pass through looks like you've stepped onto another planet.
So that rock there is called Iceberg Rock. It weighs 200,000 tons. And it fell from the ceiling and settled here now. It's pretty cool.
So geology is one of the things that fascinates Hannah and I the most, and I could bore you for hours with my many random clips of rocks that we got in the cave. But one thing that I learned that really stuck with me, in the 1890s, there was this guy named Jim White. He was a teenager at the time. He explored most all of the cave that we see today in Carlsbad with the most primitive tools that you can imagine. I think there was a rope hanging from the ceiling, a dilapidated wooden ladder that leads down into God knows where. And it's because of, brave people like that from way back when that risked their lives to explore and map out these places. That's the reason that we have these national parks today.
It's like something off of Davy Jones' ship. Ugh.
Carlsbad Caverns more than earned its national park title. There's entire ecosystems that live down here, from crickets, millipedes, and swallows to the huge bat population, which can swell to nearly 1 million during peak migration periods. We had such an incredible time here, and it's another park that we get to check off of our list.
Alright, so we just finished the cave. We did the entire thing. And somehow there's an elevator underground that's gonna take us back up to the top. So we're still however many 300 feet underground right now, and it's gonna take us 75 stories up. I was wrong. 800 feet. And now we're back up top. So we're back up at the gift shop, and they have a museum. This right here is basically what we were just walking through on a much smaller scale.
So we started at the natural entrance. We moved all the way down here through the cave system before we started the big room, which is where we went all the way around. And then we went up the elevators.
All right, just finished up at Carlsbad Caverns National Park. Super underrated national park.
Yeah, it was definitely a favorite of mine, I think. Just being able to see all of the cave formations, that up close, you know, like no tour guide, so you can really take your time to just take it all in.
And now we're gonna go and find something to eat. And we're actually staying in White City, which is right outside the national park, so we don't have too far to go. Told you it was windy.
So if you ever get the chance, and if you're ever wanting to explore something new, this is the coolest cave I've ever seen, and I highly recommend you see it for yourself. Our hotel was literally right next to the caverns, but since there was no food options available in White City, we drove to Carlsbad for dinner. We ate at this spot called Aquino's, and it was insanely good. The rest of Carlsbad, however, had very little to offer in terms of things to do. So we decided to just get an early night and made the drive back to our hotel, the White City Inn.
This place isn't too bad. A little sketchy from the outside, but I mean, we've stayed in worse. This room's huge. This'll do for the night. I'm very tired, so catch up with you in the morning. Morning. So I think I have hay fever, which is basically just like a severe reaction to the local plants and the pollen and the dust. It sucks. Horrible night of sleep. I think I got maybe like two hours of sleep, which is gonna be rough because we're supposed to be hiking in the Guadalupe Mountains today, doing like a 5 or 6 mile trail or something like that. So, which just so happens to be right in the heart of all the plants that I'm highly allergic to. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, just not feeling great. And Hannah apparently got bit up by, I believe it's sand mites in White Sands National Park, so we're just not having that much luck out here in the desert. All right, we just stopped for some breakfast at the White City Saloon, and it is windy, man. Oh God, all that dust and crap is blowing right in my face first thing in the morning. Oh, but look, there's an alien right by the restaurant. This restaurant's really cool. It has portraits of different icons from the Wild West, like Geronimo, Billy the Kid, Doc Holliday. They got portraits of them all around here. It's really cool.
After finishing our breakfast, we explored the very strange on-site gift shop before hitting the road once again and crossing the border into Texas. It's kind of funny because you're coming from mostly flat land, and then you drive like 30 minutes south and it's just like, boom, mountains. The Guadalupe Mountains became a national park in 1972, and even though we weren't hiking all the way to Guadalupe Peak, the hike we were doing offers stunning views of the almost 9,000-foot mountain.
Look, the visitor center has some allergy medicine.
Hey!
We're saved. So now we're gonna do the Devil's Hall Trail. It's pretty much like a 4 mile out and back trail, and it weaves you through the Guadalupe Mountains. So it's supposed to be pretty cool. It's pretty highly rated, so super excited to get started.
The Devil's Hall Trail is a 4.2-mile out and back hike and does involve some rock scrambling. The trail is marked, but not super well, and we ended up getting on the wrong path a few times. So I would definitely recommend downloading the app All Trails to avoid getting lost.
Going through the wash here, it can be a little sketchy because you're on such a slope. On both sides of you are just, whoa, walls of rock. So the last thing you want to see is you look up on one side and there's a face of a mountain lion staring back at you, because they do live around here. So you always got to be vigilant. I feel like I got to get my machete out, hack some of this foliage. Like Indiana Jones. Are we there yet? Ow! There's the stairs. Hey, good job.
Around 260 million years ago, this area was underwater. Today, those ancient corals and sponges form the highest peaks in Texas. It's a rare ecological island where you can hike from a cactus-filled desert up to the high-altitude pine forests in a single afternoon.
We made it! Welcome to the Devil's Hall. We made it.
We made it.
That's so sick.
This is why I love hiking so much, is to find these awesome tucked away places where it's just peace and quiet, and you get some great photos too.
All done. That was cool. Now we just gotta make the grueling hike back. Just a little hard to follow the trail markers. Got lost a couple times, but it's fun. All right, so it looks like we're to the scrambly bit now, and these boulders are way bigger in person than I'm sure it looks on the screen. Yeah. Careful.
Oh my goodness. This is sketchy.
If you do hike this trail, it's very important to bring lots of water, wear the right shoes, and most importantly, check the weather, as the whole area is prone to flash floods.
Look at that beautiful view of the parking lot. My legs are a little tired, so it's always good to see the car after a long hike.
It took us 3 hours and 6 minutes, and we hiked 4.3 miles and gained 566 feet of elevation.
I didn't really know what to expect from the Guadalupe Mountains. I mean, I'd heard of the Guadalupe Mountains, but I didn't really know what was here. And I still kind of don't. I mean, it's a really small national park in terms of what you can hike. But if you are in the park, you have to do the Devil's Hall Trail because, oh man, it was stunning.
Guadalupe!
It was time to make the daunting, almost 5-hour drive to our Airbnb. Big Bend is a super isolated and remote national park, making it much less popular than the others. It's also situated right on the Mexican border, making it heavily regulated. But as you'll soon see, it's definitely worth the effort to get here.
There's a blimp.
So I remember we were driving along the road in Texas trying to get to our Airbnb, and all of a sudden on the side of the road, I'm like, is that a Prada store?
I doubt it's even real, like, Prada inside. I mean, maybe it is, I don't know. But that's still really cool.
Apparently it was installed in I think 2001 as an art piece, and it got broken into and the bags were stolen, and it's just an art piece.
There's I guess really expensive luxury purses and shoes and stuff right here in the middle of the desert.
It's the epitome of luxury in the middle of absolutely nowhere.
I think we're just window shopping today. I don't think we're gonna buy anything.
We passed through a couple more small Texas towns.
He'll just run in front of the car. Oh my god.
As we watched the sunset over the desert mountains. After driving off-road for miles at night through the Texas desert in our little Nissan Rogue with no cell service, we had arrived.
I think we've made it. What an adventure getting here.
Whoa. Wow.
Oh my god, okay.
That night, we didn't film anything. We just showered and crashed.
Here's our room, which we've already made an absolute mess of. But there's a toilet back there, and right behind me is the view. Welcome to Big Bend. This place is wicked cool though. It's like a futuristic dome in the middle of the desert. And I mean, we are in the middle of the desert. Like, it's barren around us for hundreds of miles. And it's really, really peaceful. But anyways, we've got 2 nights here in Big Bend National Park. It's our first day here, and this is a really cool place. I was gonna get some footage yesterday. We were driving through here at night. Pretty hard to find the place, and it was kind of stressful, and I felt like crap. Yeah, it was a crazy drive yesterday. What the big ass bug. These desert bugs are something else, man. Anyways, yeah, so we're in our dome, and it's really nice. It's really nice. This whole place runs off of just solar power. So we are seriously off grid right now. There were so many birds this morning that woke us up. Birds I've never heard, ever. But if you turn around and look, check this out. Got some chairs there, and it just looks out right into the desert.
Big Bend is known as the Desert Jewel of Texas and was formally established as a national park in 1944, and it's the only national park to encompass its own mountain range, covering about 800,000 acres. Now that's a lot of land.
So yeah, let's get the day started.
Now, we've got 2 nights in the park, and for day 1, we're going to drive along the critically acclaimed Ross Maxwell Scenic Drive and hike the Santa Elena Canyon before working our way back up to see some dinosaur bones in the northern end of the park. Then, for day 2, the plan is to drive back down to the Mexican border and travel across the Rio Grande River into Mexico by rowboat, which will mark the end of our time in the park.
Can you go slow? Wait. Slow right here.
This is the road we were driving done last night, by the way, in pitch black with no service in the middle of nowhere.
And we're gonna have to do it again tonight because everything's an hour and a half away. So we're probably gonna have to drive through all this again at night. The most Texas thing we've seen so far, I think. Read the Bible.
No, I'm good. So we're driving along Ross Maxwell Drive. We had to pull over because look at these mountains behind me. God, the video doesn't do it justice. They're so grand. They remind me of the ones in Zion. They're just so beautiful.
Now, I want to mention again that Big Bend is an enormous park. So if you plan on doing multiple stops in a day, definitely plan accordingly because it's going to take a lot of driving.
Hi. Good. We got our park pass here.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Of course, yeah, y'all have a great time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You almost said you too, didn't you?
Almost.
What the heck? Dude, this is insane. Could it be Santa Elena Canyon? If I'm pronouncing that right, I think that's it. Woo.
Okay, so we just started the Santa Elena Trail, and this is like the furthest south that you can get in the United States, or at least in Texas, without crossing over to Mexico. It's guarded by these giant rock walls, and they're all like 1,500 feet high. It's about a 1.5 mile hike, and we're doing this hike in February, and I'm sweating, dude. It is hot, there's very little shade, so I can only imagine people doing this in the summertime. There's a lot of people get heat stroke, and that can be deadly. So if you come here, make sure to bring water, wear the right gear, and just take all the precautions necessary so you don't become a statistic.
The trail that we were going to be doing is approximately 1.6 miles and features stunning views of the Rio Grande River and the surrounding canyon.
You can see back there, there's some people taking a tour on the Rio Grande, getting pulled.
What are we doing hiking? We should have been down there.
Right? So the only thing separating us from Mexico right now is this river, the Rio Grande, or Rio Grande. I know I say this like at least once per video, but this is one of the coolest places I've ever seen. Look right in these bushes. Looks like a roadrunner, I think. Wow.
The Santa Elena Canyon is approximately 8 miles long and up to 1,500 feet deep, with walls that can be as narrow as 30 feet in some places. It was formed over millions of years as the Rio Grande River eroded the surrounding limestone. It carved out the paths that we're walking on today.
Even though the trail wasn't that long, I was still blown away by how much we got to see and by how beautiful it was. Luckily, the trail had a lot of shade too, so we weren't baking in the sun the entire time.
And it wasn't much longer until we had reached the end.
So we made it to the end of the trail here at Santa Elena.
And this is one of the most popular hikes that you can do in Big Bend. And I think it would be even more popular if Big Bend was more popular, but the actual national park itself is so out of the way from everything. It's so tough to get to. But if you do make the decision to come out to Big Bend, it is so worth it. I can't even put into words just how beautiful this place is. Like, my camera can't capture how tall these walls are. Gotta do it, man. Gotta do it. Anyways, great hike. We're gonna work our way back now. You know when you're like baking a pizza or cookies in the oven and you open up the oven and it's just that gust of heat? That's what it feels like in Texas, even in February. And what's cool about the Rio Grande as well is that the snow melts all the way up in the Colorado area, and then it travels like 1,900 miles down this way all the way up into Mexico. It's pretty sweet.
Jake's crossing the Rio Grande River now. Wow. Cool.
All right, so now we're gonna drive back the way we came and go to the visitor center, get a couple souvenirs, and then we're gonna make our way to a fossil exhibit that they have here in Big Bend before calling it a day. So let's go.
After a short, bumpy ride, we arrived at the visitor center, where we filled up our water bottles, checked out the on-site information center, which featured its own mini dinosaur display, and got some souvenirs. Big Bend holds a lot more history than we originally thought. Just the dinosaur bones in the visitor center were sick.
Made that look real smooth. Good job.
Thank you.
We then made the trek further north to the iconic Big Bend fossil exhibit.
All right, so last spot on our checklist today, we're gonna be doing this fossil exhibit, and it's like in the middle of nowhere, but apparently they have some really cool bones, cool history, and historic relics from the area.
So this says, around 100 million years ago, a broad and shallow sea covered Big Bend. So that's where we are now. 76 million years ago, the Rocky Mountains began to rise and the sea retreated. Big Bend was on the coast. 70 million years ago, the mountains rose higher and the seaway began to close. Big Bend was far inland and dinosaurs flourished. And then by 55 million years ago, the seaway was gone and volcanoes dominated a land ruled by mammals. Pretty cool.
So from what I'm gathering so far, Big Bend was underwater. It was an ocean way longer than it was a desert, which is just mind-boggling to me. But all of this was underwater like 100 million years ago. It all looked like this. Now it looks like that. So this creature up here is the Quetzalcoatlus, the largest flying creature to have ever lived. They weighed over 500 pounds and they were up to 36 feet long.
It's thigh bone. It's ginormous.
Damn, that was a big boy. Just to show you how remote this little museum exhibit is, I'm going to turn the camera around.
reason for that is that years ago there was a scientist or paleontologist by the name of John Wilson, and he discovered a set of dinosaur bones out here, built a little museum thing or exhibit right on this very spot. Then someone came and tried to steal the bones, so they replaced all the real bones with plaster bones. But it continued to grow, and then they built this little structure down here to house more of them, and it's just grown ever since. So it's a really cool little spot. I'm so glad we came to check it out.
Hannah and I raced home to catch the sunset at our Airbnb, but not before picking up some local cuisine and adult beverages. And thankfully, we managed to catch it right at the end. So we got back to our Airbnb just in time to catch the end of the sunset. Check this out. The next morning started off like any other. The birds were singing, the air was crisp with a hint of coyote droppings. Only difference was, today was our final day in Big Bend, and we were going somewhere special. Last morning here in Big Bend National Park, so we gotta make this one count. We'll be saying goodbye to our beautiful Airbnb here. We got some great pictures of the stars last night. It was just all around a perfect evening. And today, the plan is to take a rowboat across the Rio Grande River and ride a donkey into Mexico. We've already been stopped by the Border Patrol once and questioned, so it's a little sketchy. And if you never see this video, that means I'm stuck in Mexico and I need your help. If it all works out, it's gonna make for a hell of an experience. And that's what we're here for. Let's get a move on.
Goodbye, John.
It was about an hour's drive to get from the dome all the way to the Mexican border, and we were pumped and slightly nervous.
We are on our way to Mexico. Woo! Yay! Arriba! Jake, you ready to cross into Mexico?
Absolutely. I'm a little nervous to get over there, but you know, once we're over there, we're good, right? Until we gotta come back. But I mean, tourists do this all the time, right? You know? So, it should be fine. They can't detain us, right? All right, we're officially in Mexico. We're about to pay somebody like $5 to cross the Rio Grande River.
On a rowboat.
On a rowboat. And we'll go from there. I remember the second we stepped off the boat, we had these people trying to sell us stuff like little bracelets and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're all little kids too, so it kind of pulls on your heartstrings a little bit. Nothing.
Thank you.
Unfortunately though, we had to save the money for the donkey ride. All right, so we just rented out a donkey, or a burro. We're gonna ride that into Boquilas. In Boquilas, they only accept cash, so you definitely want to plan ahead if you go. I believe it was $15 a person to ride the donkey into Boquilas, but you can also opt for a horse for like $5 more. Or you can be boring and just make the 1 mile long walk yourself. So I'm currently on a donkey
Riding to Boquilas, Mexico. Don't do that every day, huh? This is insane.
The donkey ride really wasn't too bad. I mean, the weather was perfect. It turned out being really fun. But if you want to ride one of their animals, like a horse, donkey, whatever, they assign you a local guide, and ours just happened to be a 10-year-old kid.
You're from here?
Yeah.
You born here?
Yeah. ¿En español?
Poquito. Try to learn. Have you been to America? You been?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. This is our first time in Mexico.
So I've been trying to learn Spanish for years now, and no matter how much I try and how much I study, when it's actually time to apply that knowledge, my brain just shuts off, just goes blank. After some more time on the donkey,
This is lovely.
we finally made it into the town of Boquilas.
Yeah.
And our first stop was lunch.
This is his house over here. His mom makes these. Hola.
We found a traditional Mexican restaurant, and when I say traditional, I mean it was traditional.
So Hannah's got some Mexican Coke, the good stuff.
I didn't really understand anything on the menu, so I just asked the waiter what he would have ordered.
So far this place is pretty cool. I'm walking outside right now to get to the restroom. Trying to find it. Oh, it's over this way. Sweet.
After finishing our lunch, we checked out the gift shop, which had all kinds of unique Mexican trinkets and souvenirs.
I'm assuming that means right?
Better.
Fits you well.
There,
Right there.
and then the skin right there. I'm learning here.
We wandered around the town some more and explored some more shops. Now, in Boquilas, there's dogs literally everywhere, most of which really seem to like Hannah. And some of which seem to like me too.
Jake and Roxy. Such a sweet.
Oh, and they really don't like Donald Trump.
Okay, I think we're making our way back now. It's pretty much what I expected. Lots of people trying to sell you stuff, but they're not like super pushy about it. Mostly kids trying to sell you stuff. There's lots of chihuahuas, horses, donkeys everywhere. It's definitely authentic, the authentic Mexican experience, and it's been fun. Hannah got a shirt.
Got a shirt. It says Boquilas, Mexico 2025.
That's just a year out of date.
Our short time in Mexico was over, so we made our way back to the US. Only this time, they completely forgot to assign us a guide, so we were left to find our way back on our own.
So we're almost back to the Rio Grande, and that marks the end of our time here in Boquilas. So now all we gotta do is make the 5-hour-long drive to El Paso, which is the final destination of our trip. But this trail that we're taking now is really cool. You can hire out horses, donkeys, you can hire a truck to take you, or you could just walk. It's about 1.5 miles to get to Boquilas from the border. So we're almost done, and it's been great. It's been fun. Come on, vámonos!
The border crossing was surprisingly easy. A valid passport is mandatory for crossing, obviously, and they only operate Wednesdays through Sundays.
I wasn't allowed to film in the facility, but they basically just scanned our passports, took one look at us, and let us through. Now we get to the difficult part. It's over a 5-hour drive to get to El Paso, which is the final destination of our trip. And, being the gentleman that I am, I let Hannah make the drive for this one. Now, no matter which direction you take to get to Big Bend, whether that be from Albuquerque, El Paso, Lubbock, or San Antonio, you're gonna have to make this 5-hour drive, so you might as well sit back and enjoy it. So the other day when we were driving into Big Bend, we saw this white balloon blimp looking thing along the side of the road, and we're like, what is that?
There's a blimp.
Turns out it's for border control, of course. It's for monitoring low-flying aircraft and also monitoring the border, I guess. It's unmanned, nobody flies in it. It's just a tethered balloon. It's very strange.
It's crazy. It's wild.
When you come out here to New Mexico and Texas, in these big, wide open areas, you'd think, oh, I could go fast, right? You know, I could just put the windows down, cruise, and have a good time. No, this is like the strictest I've ever seen people on our trip about speeding. They'll drop from 75 miles an hour roads to 25 miles per hour within seconds. I already got my ticket. It's like a rite of passage for a trip like this, is you're gonna get pulled over. Just be careful. Made it to El Paso.
El Paso is basically the home of consumerism in America. There's every chain store, restaurant, and fast food joint you can possibly think of, which is quite the contrast from where we just came from. Biggest fast food drink I've ever seen in my life.
This is a neat little room. Got some artwork, TV, and look, we got a view of the mountains.
That's really neat. That is sick. Look at the bridge. It lights up blue underneath.
So yeah, not too bad. This will do for a couple nights. Our last couple nights on this trip. Look, they have YouTube. I'm about to spend a week in the Pacific Northwest, and joining me is my wife Hannah.
Awesome.
There might be a fire. I guess we're all leaving because this fire alarm's going crazy and everybody's super sketched out right now because I got some very expensive equipment on me. Okay, so they just evacuated everybody outside right now. It's freezing and I left my jacket in the room, so god damn it. But you can see, I'll flip the camera.
We better get some money off or something, because
This sucks. How many firemen does it take to turn off a fire alarm? We've been told there's no fire, but I don't know. Never be sure. Okay, the man with the biggest mustache has arrived, so we should be fine. Okay, so like 30 minutes later, some guy comes in, I guess he's a newer firefighter, and he's like, hey boss, you just gotta hit silent. You didn't think of that?
Went up to the alarm, he goes, yeah, I just hit silence.
Oh my god.
It took 4 of them to figure that out. 4 of them.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Good night. All right, good morning from El Paso. So today we're going to be riding some UTVs or some go-karts, and really excited because it's our last day here, and it's going to be super fun. We've never ridden these before, so let's just let's see how it goes. It should be fun.
After arriving at the rental UTV place, we were stunned to find that nobody else booked that morning, meaning we not only got our own choice of vehicle, but we also got a private tour.
All right, so we just made it to the UTV rental place in the middle of nowhere. Let's go.
To adjust the steering wheel, hold this lever back. It's going to allow you to adjust it down or up, whatever's to your comfort. Once you have it where you want it, let go of the lever, and then lock it in place.
After a quick safety briefing and a substantial security deposit, we were free to start our off-road adventure. Now, I've never driven one of these before, so I was kind of surprised how fast they actually went. And if you know me, I'm kind of an adrenaline junkie, so I take having fun very seriously. I remember the terrain was insane too. It went from going so flat to so bumpy, like so quickly. It was like we were on a little boat in a hurricane or something. It's crazy. Our guide mentioned he knew a hidden spot with a great view, but it was further off the usual path. But since we were his only guests that morning, he didn't mind taking us there.
We just stopped to have a rest. Hey, you wanna take that? And that way back there is where we came from. So we're about 6 miles out right now in the desert. 13? Yeah. 13 miles out. This is awesome.
After rehydrating and getting some photos, our guide gave us a history lesson. Unfortunately, due to the wind, my camera didn't pick up on about 90% of what he said.
It's all like red sands.
Yeah.
Iron that's oxidized, like rusted out. Go visit like that.
Does this desert have a name?
That's all the red sands.
Just Red Sands Desert?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it stretches out over like 14,000 acres.
Oh, wow.
Like a lot of land to cover for it.
It was now time to make the journey back. So we decided to take this one nice and easy. I remember later that evening, Hannah and I, we kind of just walked around El Paso and explored a little bit more of it, some of the restaurants and bars and stuff before we had to fly home. We went to the mall, we went to this coffee shop called 787 Coffee, which was awesome. They had a petting zoo in the back with all kinds of animals, like I think they even had a cow back there. It was crazy.
And some other animals too. What a cool place.
One thing that I didn't know too is El Paso actually shares a border with Mexico. So that kind of took me by surprise, but
Mexico.
it's super awesome to see like how the Mexican and American cultures came together in this city, and there's just so much life to it. And I remember one of which was called the Tiki Room, and that place was phenomenal. If you're in El Paso, go there.
Let's go to this tiki bar. Yeah. Oh. Whoa.
I try to have the last little bits of the trips that we go on just for me and Hannah, give us time to unwind and spend some quality time together without, you know, worrying about filming all the time, and because we're just full on exhausted from the trip. But for anyone watching this video, if it's your first time here, like on my channel, or you've seen some of my previous videos, I just want to say I thank you, I appreciate you, and it keeps me motivated to keep making these videos and spending hours and hours editing these clips together, and it just keeps me going making travel documentaries like this, so thank you. And it seems like a lifetime ago that we were 10,000 feet in the air in the Sandia Mountains.
We got some hot chocolate.
In Roswell. In our Airbnb in Big Bend. And now finishing here. It's crazy. Woo! Now, we do have another trip coming up this September. Right now, it is subject to change, but we're planning on going to Colorado in the Rocky Mountains and then driving down to Salt Lake City and the Salt Flats in Utah. We love Utah. You know, what can we say? We go back there all the time. But there's always something more to explore in that region of the States. So you're not gonna wanna miss that. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Peace. Are we done? That was fun.